I call the member for Londonderry.
Thank you, Speaker. I rise today to acknowledge the St Marys RSL Sub branch for another year of very moving and very special Anzac Day Services. It was a real honour as the member representing St Marys in this place to attend both the Sunday March on the 17th of April and also the dawn service. And the dawn service in particular was attended by thousands and thousands of residents paying their respect and acknowledging the sacrifice made by those gone before us, and I particularly want to recognise the schools that attended in that morning. As been said in this place time and time again, Gallipoli marked the birthplace of the timeless Australian values of mateship and courage that have helped to forge our national identity. And last year we showed that 100 years on, these values are well and truly embedded in who we are as a nation. Indeed, last year we stopped and recognised the sacrifice that Australian men and women made when they landed on these shores, the shores of Gallipoli. The commitment of communities right across Australia in upholding the spirit of the Anzacs is nothing short of inspiring. From educating our youth through scholarship programs to supporting our veterans and of course commemorating those who died for their country through memorials and local exhibitions. It is really essential, I believe, that we continue to uphold the values of the Anzacs and that we ensure that those values continue to inspire from one generation to the next. The challenge we face is ensuring that the heroic stories of the Anzacs that have lasted a century are never forgotten. Our nation is defined by the strength that the Anzacs displayed over 100 years ago. Their willingness to sacrifice so that the next generation could have a chance to forge their own path from the opportunities that Australia has to offer must continue to be remembered by generations to come. From Gallipoli, the Somme, Passchendaele and Bullecourt, these men and women knew that they may not return home, but they made the important sacrifice. Thousands of members of the St Marys community joined this year to remember and commemorate Anzac Day, as I said earlier. An estimated 11,000 people participated in the dawn service at Penrith and St Marys, which included more than 5,000 at the service I attended at St Marys RSL Club. Thank you to everyone who contributed to this successful morning. Speaker, the St Marys area in my electorate of Londonderry has a profound connection to the Anzac spirit of which we are all proud. Last year, the St Marys RSL Sub branch undertook an amazing project which I really want to acknowledge in this House, a project to commemorate the service personnel from the St Marys area who served in World War I. This project was undertaken with the help of primary and high schools within the old St Marys Council area. It involves students undertaking research into servicemen and women from the St Marys district in World War I. Their research findings were made into a book by the St Marys RSL branch called St Marys Served Australia in World War I. I particularly want to thank Tony Fryer, Secretary of the St Marys RSL Sub branch, for lending me this book and for coming to meet with me to discuss this speech. Also, a big well done to the team who assisted with putting this book together. Tony Fryer, Ron Blakely, David Cuff, George Perrin, Ron Kelly, John Fauken, Terry Byrne, Gary and Leslie Ayres and Steve Tolsher. The contribution of the St Marys Historical Society and Penrith City Library must also be recognised in putting together this project and for assisting with this research. I'm told that the names of the servicemen and women provided to the students came from the St Marys Historical Society's own archives. A big thank you to our St Marys legend, Norma Thorburn, and her team for this help. Thank you again to everyone who participated in this year's Anzac Day services at St Marys, both the March and the Dawn service. Thank you to all of our men and women who are in service of the armed forces at this time. And finally, to those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice, we will remember you, lest we forget.